Okay, let's start this video. This is a Bitcoin advance, thankfully given by Troll, who was playing with them the other night. I asked for the replays. Why are we doing this? Why are we going over this? A couple reasons. One, in light of everything that's been happening, I want to explain exactly what happened again. Maybe Bishop will listen and not lose his mind and stay calm. And this is for the other people in the clan too, so it's not just Bishop. So everyone in Bitcoin can listen to this and make their own decision. Essentially, what happened was Bishop posted links to cheats in uh, the Bitcoin Discord. Now, I don't know Bishop. He lost his mind. He doesn't seem like a great guy, but I don't know. Maybe he was just stressed. He's a boomer, I suppose. Whether he meant to or not, right? It doesn't matter whether his intention was to promote cheats or not. As soon as you link cheats into your Discord, it automatically becomes very suspicious, and it is just something you shouldn't do, right? It's almost like World of Tanks or gaming etiquette. Even if it's to condemn cheats, you don't post the links in your Discord. It's that simple. So, someone from Goons, one of the officers, posted it in the officers chat, which of course I'm in. And I saw it, and I immediately thought, well, no, this is not good. It doesn't matter what the context is. You cannot link cheats in a Discord. So I sent it to Wargaming staff. Now, little context for Bitcoins of who I am. I have played World of Tanks at the highest level for the last 4 or 5 years. I've won multiple tournaments, international tournaments, made thousands of dollars playing this game. I've even worked for Wargaming as a caster and analyst on some of their major tournaments. So I know the high-end community. I've played with them, I've played against them, and I know a lot of the Wargaming staff. Why is that relevant? Well, because I brought this to the attention of the Wargaming staff, and they said they'd look into it internally. Who knows what that means, really? But they were been made aware. So there's that. The other thing is, so I told Bishop in a DM, he's got two problems. One is that the entire competitive World of Tanks community is in agreement that you cannot post cheats, no matter the context. You cannot link cheats, and be okay with that. And two, the Wargaming staff agree too. You cannot do that and just essentially get away with that. So Bishop needs to understand that. This is something that this dude really, really needs to understand. And if it can be an honest mistake, but if it is an honest mistake, stop doubling down and threatening me and saying I'm on the menu. Like, what the fuck does that mean, right? Stop substantiating and just say it was wrong of me to post that. Sorry, guys. It's super simple, but Bishop, your guys' clan commander in Bitcoin, just will not do that, okay? So, I don't know. Maybe he's calmed down now and he's willing to do it. That's the thing. He also brought up something about fines players and stuff. Look, this was posted in the high-end competitive discords in World of Tanks. People from fines are going to get it. They can spread it. They may be trolling. I don't know. That's not on me. Who cares? You guys will have to deal with that. Anyway, the other reason I'm making this video is because people from Goons, and I think accounts from people in Bitcoin too, who I shall not name because apparently Bishop gets very upset when he gets critiqued, have a problem with how some calls are being made and that you can't critique. Now, as a caller for small format and for large format and for teams much, much better than Bitcoin and also Goons, but Goons won't get offended at me saying that, right? Because I'm friends with Goons and we try to help each other. I try to teach some of their newer players, so that's what I'm going to do here. I know what I'm talking about, essentially. And I can tell you right now that no good competitive teams, no good World of Tanks teams, the caller just does anything without being critiqued. So let's look at this advance from Troll's perspective, but we're going to look at the macro here. So we look at it. Right away, there are problems, right? And it's quite obvious that whoever's calling this does not really understand the map, okay? You cannot just randomly, I guess you can echelon here, but you do that if you're going to push. 3 tanks here is very dumb. You're not really spotting anything. You're kind of doing this weird thing, 8 line. E3s suck, by the way. Wheezy's 5As suck. Kronvons suck, okay? You shouldn't be playing a 50B if you're bad at it. 60 TP, like, this is purely on a player. There is absolutely no reason you ever die there, right? I'm not even sure what happened. Now, I know people in Bitcoin are not the most experienced players, but, wow, I can tell you if one of my players blew up like that, I don't even think I'd ever play with them again. So, at this point, too, what are we doing on this 3 line? The answer is nothing, right? The answer is absolutely nothing. The caller needs to understand that they're mostly stacked on the 8 line. So what I would do, and they are very light up the hill so far, I'd already be rotating out and taking that 1, 2, 3 line so that we can crossfire that 8 line. You can also be pushed 8 line. I'd move the E3 back here. We're super slow. We sent... Yeah, it's just the Wheezy sucks. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's dumb strikes. No, no, no. You can't all push down the hill here. A lot of you want to turn out. This is terrible. Okay, you need to understand. Like, why would you come in? You have the outside. By these guys coming in, maybe you're scared that they're pushing up 8 line. They bleed from G, and you give up outside control. It's just insane. Like, the worst play these 3 can make is to come through the D line. You're giving up outside control. Why would you ever do that? You don't ever. Not everyone needs to go down. In fact, I'd most likely send most people back. Like I said, control this 2-3 line. Get the crossfire on G. Come through courtyard because you have hill, right? You can slow this down. You have hill. Come back. Maintain control on the outside and come through. Start taking courtyard. I'm not sure how the C3 bleeds down to 33 HP. That's also good. Or awful. See how Troll is doing this now? Like, it's quite obvious you're going for like this little pincer maneuver, but it's just bad. It's just bad. Maybe you will win because I've heard of our Raven Guard, I think they're called. They are awful, awful. And see, look, you've given up outside, and even like a terrible clan is able to expose you for it a little bit. But it's almost hard to comment on because nothing's happening. Both teams are doing nothing. And you gave up hill. If they're smart, their CSs go back hill. And you're just trapped on the 8 line. Now, it looks like you guys should win this. You are going to win this. Unless they take hill and crossfire you as you come back. Right? Like this guy, whoever's going in right now, you need to just wait a little. Yeah, see, what the heck was that? You are going to get resets. You've got 10 seconds. Wait for 2 seconds so you can double peek together. Don't peek one at a time. Like this. Now this 260 shouldn't re-peek until the IS-7 gets there. There's a Yag in your ass. You guys should probably now lose this if they're taking hill, which they're not. Okay. Huge other mistake here. Although, because the Yag is here, it's not a mistake, but it should be normally because I know not great players tend to do this. They just drive in. Come to the corner, right, in cover, and focus fire someone out. I know a problem I've heard in Bitcoin is that you're not allowed to talk or whatever, and no one does talk. Everybody should be talking. There should be none of this, shh, I'm the caller, or shh, listen to the call crap. Everybody should be talking. Yeah, you guys are doing everything super slow. What is this? What is this guy doing? Just sitting there. Like, it's bad. Retake 8 line. What is the 50B doing? The 50B should probably be up the 8 line already, like on the corner or in the courtyard. Right? This is... So, and I'm not trying to flame or be toxic or anything, but low tier gameplay like this is hard to comment on and make suggestions on because everybody just kind of plays blobby and there's no real decision making and it doesn't make sense what's going on. So I'm going to try my best, but at least on that one, it wasn't incredible. And you can kind of see what both teams are going for, like that. The enemy's 8 line hold. It was just awful, and they didn't play the hill correctly. They kind of played the outside late. You guys didn't play outside at all. You just had randomly 3 tanks in the west, like I said. not doing anything. Like, do something. We didn't do that. You had 2 players blow up. The 60 TP blew up, and then there was an E3 on 33 HP when he should be full health. Bleeding is like the worst thing you can do. I don't know why you have 250Bs here. And the Wheezies. The Wheezies are awful, okay? There is no reason to ever play a Wheezy. Play 277s and play KPZs, man. Those things are fucking awesome. Okay, this guy Reacher is pinging. You've got the Sturv. I guess it's fine. A Leopard. See, okay. And this might come off as rude. I'm just going to continue. This might come off as rude. Players who are not the most skilled should not be playing Sturvs, Leopards, or 50Bs, okay? The Bitcoin is going to have the most success running fast heavies, like 14 fast heavies and maybe an EBR, sometimes 15 fast heavies. This is just brutal by them, right? Like, think about what their EBRs are doing right now. The answer is fuck all. Why would you send 2 EBRs the exact same way, and why are they both running hardening? Like, this is just strange, right? Everyone should be able to see this is terrible. If you want to send an EBR here, that's awesome. Do that, okay? The other one should go the other side, because when their first EBR trades spots or knows that he's lit by Troll in his EBR, it should mean to the other EBR that he can now go deep without fear of being counter spotted by a tank, right? So it lets them take so much map control early. So what they've done is, instead of using the advantage that 2 EBRs versus 1 EBR gives them, they take that advantage and are now essentially just fully down a tank, right? Because the EBR is terrible in combat. This can't be understated. Like, it might seem to someone who doesn't really, or hasn't played like advances or 15v15 much, that, oh, it's not even that big of a deal. Like, they're trying to double team and fight. Like, no, this is a huge throw right here. I swear to God, any good team right here is going to win off of that. Also, TDs suck. So it looks like they're camping. This camp is super easy to break, okay? If they're going to camp, let's see if we do it. Nice HE shot by Troll. He knows he's going to be able to get safe, right? He's going to be out of render. Okay. I don't understand this. Okay, so Reacher, the dude who's calling. Why, given their comp, they have a hell of a hard time contesting A1. Why would you not light take A1? Okay, so send 3 or 4 tanks here. Troll can do his little spot. You guys get bleed on this, and then take 2 or 3 tanks A1. Hold everybody else, right? Look for shots in case they do try to push A1, which is awful because your comp, right, shits on their comp. After you've light taken A1, you can then rotate everything but maybe 2 tanks, like maybe 1 tank A1, like a chief here, and then like the Sturv back here still. Then rotate everything city, use Troll for eyes, and start brawling the city slowly. Here's the thing. They're probably camping, right? But if they're not, and they're full taking city, you immediately take under the A line into A6, A7. The Chief and Sturv can come up through the mid D and E line. You hold the city, and then you start pressuring their cap out with 4 tanks, right? If they have a couple things city, you fully overmatch it, okay? And Troll would come. Right now, what you're doing is bad, because now what they need to do to camp and to be unbeatable in a camp is stick a guy here where their EBR is, have a guy in A1, their EBR, one of their EBRs is fairly forward, so he uses rotation, other EBR can play like passive, and then just hold these ridges on the D line here, and you can't push through. You're stalled, and they will win because they're defending, okay? So you have to light take A1. It wasn't even that, I was saying it as a suggestion. It's not even a suggestion. You must do it. Unless they are supremely dumb, you will not be able to break a camp like this. And it looks like a camp, but like I said, setting up the way I said to, it still counters a ship push, right? That is why we set up what we call standard, a standard setup. which is a certain number of tanks, certain type of tanks, take certain positions off the bat. And the reason you do that, you set up standard, is because you want to take as much map control early as you can without the risk of being shit pushed, okay? This is not a standard setup, and you guys aren't even really pushing this. So you're rotating 2 back to base, and my question is, why? So maybe you'll brawl the city, but for all you know, they could all be there, right? Troll needs to hit that, but he knows. Right, so, yeah, it's a camp. So you need to light take A1 with the Leo. Sure, rotate a chief up to here. But then you need to come across into A6, and you need to get chiefs. See, this is what I mean. Why is this guy well, he's not in your clan, so it doesn't matter. I slander him a bit. Why is he in a 50B? You can't just blow up in a 50B. The other thing people need to understand is bleeding is awful. Bleeding HP unnecessarily loses you the game every single time against a semi-competent opponent. And losing a full 50, like you're a clip tank 50B. You're a super important, especially in like these city brawls. How do you blow up? It should be impossible. Like, what are you doing? Peeking into their whole team? Well, the answer is yes, you are doing exactly that, peeking into their whole team. So, this is insane. Okay, maybe you end up winning it. I don't know. I haven't seen these games. It's insane if you win it, though, because you should... you're overmatched. And the thing that I worry about is if you guys are winning these games, it could lead you to a false sense of, oh, no, we're actually doing it right. You're not doing it right, okay? This is the worst push you could make right now. I'm not joking. There is not a worse push you can make as a team right now than through the 9-0 line, okay? Everyone should be able to see if you have A1 established, you can then establish A6, right? You can then come up through the D line. It is not dangerous to come up through the D and E line if you have A6, okay? And you have a couple guys on the outside, and like maybe your Sturv here or here. They can't peek up to come at you. And you get under their ridge, and it forces them off, okay? Just look at this. You come under, it forces them off of this ridge. Once they're forced off of this ridge, you can come under to here and start peeking on these guys, okay? These guys are looking this way. That means from here, you've already backed this ridge down, right? They can't play high anymore, especially if you've established A6. These guys have their turrets turned to you. You shoot them in the turrets. You fuck them. It forces them to back down, right? Because they can either get shot from you or turn their turrets to you and get shot from the guys in the city. It forces them to back down. Once these guys are back down, then your main force can come under and start playing the ridges, right? Because now they're backed down, which means you can play high ridge and control the pokes. It's a little bit, it might sound a little bit advanced for people who don't really know what they're doing. But that is your play. Okay? Again, I'm talking to the Bitcoin players. This is useless unless you come across D. At least we're holding. This is fine. This KPZ coming wide is actually fine if we're helping. Who is that? Reacher. I think that's a caller. That's a fine play, but you can't blow up, right? Like, you should be on full HP. And this EBR should blow up. These guys into the base, that's too much. You need to establish A6, and it should probably be Troll. Nice. Troll might get another shot here. Missed, unfortunately. Okay, we're taking so much time. No one's moving. It's very obvious no one thinks on their own. This Wheezy like just kind of move up a bit. Leopard looks like he's taking. Yeah, Troll can shoot on the move here. He wants to get under, though. Nice. This E3 has thrown, right? Everyone should be able to understand. The E3, I'm not sure how he didn't understand that he has killed himself. I'm not sure, right? Think about this. Why the fuck would they have an E3 and Sturv here? They just blow up. Which I assume they're going to do in a second. They don't even shoot Troll. I mean, these guys are bad players, boys. These guys are not good players. We are actually kind of doing it right, though. Okay? Like, you guys are doing something right here, which is really nice. Troll's playing this beautifully. But like the Chiefs, I guess they're bleeding right now. They need to come up through D. Looks like Troll is helping ping maybe. Yeah, so the Chiefs just sitting in E4. Like in this particular game, it doesn't really matter because you're under them now, and you're gonna control the engagements. But speed matters. You need to be quick with the rotations and calls. No, no, no! Don't everybody leave city. Don't everybody leave city. See, that's a misplay. Yeah, again, it's gonna work here because these guys are fucking clueless. But you don't need to everyone leave city, because look, their play then, and they're like kind of doing it, is to re-push through, take like one down to here, and then come through back on this ridge, and then they back you down, which is exactly what like you're trying to do, right? So you're gonna almost certainly win this, which is awesome. Good for you guys. But you should win this without, seriously, you should win without a tank dying. Maybe one or two tanks die if they're fairly dense in the city, but they weren't. And maybe one guy dies crossing into zero line when it is timed, because remember, it is a timing thing based on what I said. It should be a 15-0 though, or at worst a 15-1. It shouldn't be 6-6, right? It's 6-6 because you guys are making mistakes. There are poor decisions being made here, both macro and micro. Okay? And I know if Bitcoin players do actually watch this, they're probably going to hate me. I have no animosity towards you guys. I want to help people get better. That's what I do with goons. I have friends in goons, and I want to help get their players in their clan better. I just don't put up with bullshit. And bad play. I don't like bad play. It's kind of hard to watch, but there were more probably right decisions than wrong decisions made here. Like the micro is abysmal. I think players need to understand, and I'm sure most players do understand, that the individual play I'm watching here, like especially from the heavies, like these three chiefs especially, like what are you doing? And maybe the three chiefs are watching that saying, oh well, we were called to do this. It doesn't matter, man. Like, come in. Think about what you need to be doing and drive your tank. There's a saying that I love saying. It's, if the caller forgets about their tank, the player can't also forget about their tank, right? Like, play your fucking game. And I understand a lot of people from Bitcoin are veterans, are a little bit older. My dad's a veteran too. He's not great at the game. But if you want to improve, I mean, you gotta kind of face the fact that maybe a lot of you might be weak players. And there's nothing wrong with that. So this one is over. I would say you guys put yourself in a position to win, but let's be real. Raven Guard put themselves much more in a position to lose. I suppose the biggest good play you guys made was not just ship pushing zero line right away. I'm glad we recognize that that's not an option, and we like kind of rotated out. We rotated incorrectly, like I was talking about, but at least we made an attempt and it worked out. So let's go on to this third game. Cliff. Oh. So I haven't seen these games, so I'm gonna pause the video when it opens. I'm going to talk about what I see just based off of comp, because there's no fog of war in this, right? You can't camp Cliff. Excuse me. It's very hard to. It's too easy to break. But they could try, but they probably won't. You're going to play some form of mid and hill. I think, honestly, I don't know if the chief is fast enough to do it anymore. It could be. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about this. So, right away, their comp is brutal. They have so many TDs. Like these five, it just like with these TDs you can do anything. Okay. Why do you have a Sturve and a Leopard? Not entirely sure why you've got that. Like, this is a brawl map. Even like goons will put someone in K5. Like, I think it's bad. Maybe a leopard, okay? There's no reason to run a stirve. None. Again, Wheezies suck. The Super Conch sucks on this map because you need speed. You want more CSs. CSs absolutely dominate this map, okay? The KPZ is probably awesome on this map. 260s and 277s, awesome. Really, the only place your Super Con can play is back here, so you don't want him. Leopard and Stirve, there's no point. Like, at most, bring one or the other. The Leopard, because he can rotate and has a turret. All right. The Wheezies just suck. Just bring 277s or 260s, guys, or KPZs. The IS-7, it's good. You know what tank is really good on Cliffs? BZ. The BZ-75. Because the Cliff meta revolves around getting to middle or donut fast. Okay? So what I would do, right, if I'm the caller, I'm reading this comp, I see that they've got their 3 TDs. I am probably just going to take mid. Why? I'm faster. My comp is so fast. I'm going to send both CSs out probably wide, or maybe even one onto the ramp, send the chieftains to the ramp, everyone else to the 5 line, okay? If they try to cross, we bleed them. If not, we take donut, and then we can play it slow from there, okay? Right? If they're fighting, you take the fight because you have the tanks to fight. They don't. You have turrets, you have heat, you have better DPM. They have a terrible fighting comp, okay? If they take the fight, you fight it. If they don't take the fight and they're coming donut, you immediately take everybody, but maybe one, the KPZ and maybe Supercon can stay here and someone stays here. Everyone just comes through the F line and takes the fight in the donut, right? This is why fast tanks really matter on Cliffs. And if they're not doing either, you establish the middle, you establish someone hill. Why is hill important? Because it spots all the rotations and they can't play on the 8-9 line. After that, you can rotate someone into here. And eventually, you're going to push across into D5, take this ridge so they can't play back here, and then make your decision. Do you want to come through, push into this, YOLO spot A5, back them off, and then come in and bottleneck them into like this grid area here, like D line through 5 line. You can't cap. You can't camp. It's brutal to camp, okay? So that's exactly what I would do. Again, and we're doing this in real time. So let's watch it. Hopefully, you could also go donut with most, but I think that's a little worse. We're not. We're going mid. You definitely don't want to take hill right away against these guys. I mean, they could have 2 Hori 3s pre-aiming. That could be dangerous. Okay. The IS... Man, nice shooting. But... Everybody stopped. First of all, why the fuck would it be an IS-7? Like, literally the most inaccurate tank on your team playing here. Also, like, probably the best brawl tank. Okay? It's not worth stopping. Okay? People don't understand that, obviously. You stop, you lose. Why? Cliff matters speed. If you stop and shoot their CS, even if you blow a CS up, like you almost did, if they're playing correctly, they are in these bushes or in these ridges when you're about where this 277 is because you stopped, and you instantly lose the game. Instantly. Because then they can also take high ramp, push you down, and then they can rotate donut. You can't. They also took hill, right? You instantly lose. It's another one of those things where an inexperienced player might sit there and think, well, no, it's good. It's like a 6-second difference. Yes, it is, but that will lose games, and I can link, if anyone's actually interested, they could contact me in Goon's Discord, public chat, or whatever. And if they're interested to see how these things can matter at top-level gameplay, I'll link you videos. I'll link you tournaments I'm in, right? Where these things really, really matter. I'm not exaggerating when I say stopping to shoot the CS going up the hill loses you the game. And not most of the time, every time, assuming the enemy has any bit of competence, even with their shit comp, okay? You definitely shoot the CS, but on the move, okay? On the move, shoot the CS. If you hit, you hit. with 9 people shooting him, probably 2 shots hit. That helps. Okay, so let's continue. Troll made the correct decision not going up, by the way. He would have been absolutely fucked. So you need to take high ramp here, right? Like, we must be able to see this is dumb. Take donut. Send the IS-7 in. Troll's going a little freaking early. He's going to get away with it, though. Nice. Okay. Oh. Troll went to the wrong spot. You guys are a little bottlenecked. Okay? So, this isn't incredible. You have one guy on high ramp. That's good. This guy, that chief high ramp, that's good. You can't give it up, though. And why are you a piano warrior, dude? What are you doing? You've taken Hill. Never send this much around. Fuck. Never send this much around. And here's why. As soon as they see this, their play is instantly to shove 3 guys. Well, no. What they do is they poke, shoot this, absorb the volley, and then their 277 drives to this rock, kills Troll, and all of you you lose the game, guaranteed. Okay? Guaranteed lose the game. You only send maybe 2 guys across like this to flank. If they re-push into these 2 guys, they kite, and you either push mid or back into donut. But what sucks, you have 2 tanks out of the fight. Imagine if you had 2 push tanks who could come in, right? These things matter. Nice bleed on him without getting bled. But this guy's bled a lot of HP unnecessarily, right? And you know it's unnecessary bleed. Same with this guy, 845 from Ahuri. It means you're not paying attention, okay? Unnecessary bleed will lose you the game. Pushing over is... I don't even know what is going on here. I'm actually, like, very confused what's going on here. This should not work. You should just lose the game. This is an insanely bad call. And look out, and not only is it a bad call, people are just in the open. This is a supremely bad call. Why is the Sturv and Leopard not running in right now? Why is the IS-7 not running to this rock? IS-7, think about it. Imagine if you're at this rock and you can pressure these guys. This rock is OP. Oh my god, what is this guy doing? Hill needs to be absolutely farming. Oh, fuck, this is bad. And here again, the caller may have forgotten about the Leopard and Sturv, so the Sturv and Leopard forgot about themselves. Like, what are you doing here right now? At this point, the only time you're going to get shots is when your team's lost. And this push was just... That makes me a little scared. Whoever called that push really needs to take a step back and think for a second if they're watching. Because that was maybe one of the worst calls I've ever seen. And I fucking bet Troll was giggling when that call was made. Because this was brutal. You were crossfired from every direction. And the worst part is, because now it should just be you just lost 8 tanks for free. Or you should have lost. You almost traded it back because they're that bad. And this isn't just like coming from someone who's like coping, right? I know good players and bad players. They are just that bad. You should get annihilated. This is insane. So, for Bitcoin members who... Because I'm sure people in Bitcoin, some of us can look at this push while it's happening and say, well, this is not working. I'm getting shot from 9 directions, right? I don't know if you voice your concerns during the game. I don't know if you're allowed to. You should be, by the way. But I've heard some things where people are not allowed to voice their concerns in that clan. Well, maybe rethink that policy, because if the caller had maybe listened, maybe no one said anything, but if the caller had asked, hey, heavy group, are we ready to do this? And someone said, well, we're going to get crossfire. And they listened, and people were allowed to speak up in this clan, maybe these absolutely abysmal calls wouldn't be made. And the worst part is, I'll tell you the worst part, I guarantee there was a lack of communication between caller and heavy group, because I guarantee the heavies, at least one of them, or maybe the CS that went on pill, got shot from the Wheezier Sturve at least once, okay? So they weren't lit in A5, but I guarantee they'd shot their guns before. Which means that either A, terrible options, A and B are both awful options. So the option A is someone in a heavy tank, or more than one person in a heavy tank, knew that there were unlit tanks in A5 and didn't say that when the call was to push mid, okay? Because A5, you can't do that push like surround, especially like instead of being crossfire 2 ways and maybe being able to push into one of them, you're now crossfire 3 ways and A5 can't die, okay? So that's the first problem. Problem B is someone in the heavy tank group knew that there was someone in A5 and told the caller, and the caller still made that call, right? So both are very, very scary situations. The first situation means the heavy tanks are not using their brains and they're not communicating. The second situation is even scarier. It means that the caller was so unaware, and I don't even know how else to say it, but so clueless in this instance that they made the call to push into the worst crossfire they could push into. We didn't even try to bleed from like C8 and back them off and take ramp and something, right? Like, I don't know. I do know. And again, these two, you're useless. Especially now, move up. Move up. You will not get shots. Unless this guy. What an idiot. He knows you're there too, and of course troll low rolls. Of course troll low rolls. And so these two guys probably thought they're doing a good job supporting troll. You're actually not. Okay? What the fuck did I just press? You're actually not. It's just better if you're up and in the fight. Imagine if the Leopard and Serve were actually in mid right now. You could hold as best you can and then re-collapse 2-3 line with IS-7 and CS, and maybe 277 could try to come across and play like right here where my thing is with CS on hill. But we're not going to be able to do that. Again, a lot of individual misplays, but this was a call-in. This was awful. This was... yeah. Troll only sent me 4 replays, which means you guys only somehow... oh my god, there's no way you're going to win. No way. Oh no. Oh my god, you're a god. That IS-7's a god. That's fucked. So the reason those are only 4 replays is you must go 4-0. Oh my god. And this is what scares me too, because you're beating such a bad clan. Like, look what you guys played yourself out of. You beat such a bad clan. It's gonna give some people probably, maybe, I'm not saying 100%, it's gonna make people, and probably callers, feel like, oh my goodness, that was the correct call, I made the right decision, we played great, or we played how we needed to. No. There's victories, all of them so far, where you've made so many mistakes, both micro and macro, that they're just not punishing because you guys are better. It's like that last game, for example, should just exemplify that the players in Bitcoin are better than the players in Raven Guard. Okay? Because you guys were in a position to lose and they threw it. I don't think it's you guys snatched from the jaws of defeat. I think they kind of just threw you the game and you capitalized on it. And maybe a lot of people think, oh, he's just being a dick. He hates Bitcoin. No, I don't even know anyone in Bitcoin, and I only want to help. Okay, I know a lot of older people who've come from Bitcoin to goons. Okay, ask them. Ask all the former Bitcoin members if I'm a dickhead. Okay, no, I help them, and I love playing with them. But I'm also very realistic, and I tell people when they're not great. I'm not trying to be a dick about it. But I'm blunt and to the point. But people improve, man. Like, I don't know. Okay, based on this comp, Super Conk sucks. You're going to probably play mid-heavy. This is fine setup. Yep, okay, we got the Sturve and the Leopard again, but This is actually a little better. It's not that big of a deal. That Ram's actually fine, except he was on Troll's side. The reason that Ram's fine for them is they have 2 EBRs, so getting our EBR out right away is fine. Okay, over playing mid, I'd actually do the exact opposite here. Oh my god, their EBR is a bot. Yeah, see that. That's not even like you guys hit your shot, which is awesome. Everyone hit their shots, but that's just such brutal play. What you actually want to do here is so this is okay, but now immediately as soon as you see all this, the 260 needs to come in. Leopard probably needs to push down with Troll, and Sturv probably wants to move up to here, but can stay back in B2 for a little bit. That's not on the caller though, okay? That's on the 3 individual players here. So that is on this Leopard one, the 260, and the Sturv. Okay? Again, maybe your clan doesn't like when you move without being told to. That is a huge mistake. That is a major reason why, if that behavior keeps up, you will not win many games, especially against the semi-decent. I'm not even saying decent because you guys aren't even in that conversation yet. But that, again, you're trying to learn, so that's fine. But like you three need to be thinking on your own and moving on your own. This is the caller's in the fight somewhere over here. He's not necessarily thinking about you guys, or if he is, he might be picking it late. So you guys need to understand what your move is and start moving. You also have Troll here. He can help you, right? Anyway, back to the macro. It's almost always better to stack mid because you can come down. It's easier to go down than up, okay? So you maybe 4 tanks, 3 or 4 tanks here, the rest mid. You see them pushing across like this, kind of back off, create a crossfire, and push across to their side, push these guys down, kill the guys high, and then start reinforcing. And now you're high, you've got here, and you've taken completely here. You're down here with the EBR, and maybe a Leopard who's coming in this way. Your Stur's coming in, your 260's already in with you guys, and you win. Now again, why would we only send 1 tank down here? Because if you can take map control with 1 tank, always take it with 1 tank, no more, right? You want to be able to control as much map as possible with as little tanks as possible, right? So ideally it should only ever be the EBR down here. Now, if the EBR gets down here and he sees 2 or 3 tanks, well, yeah, he can leave. And then you simply rotate everything, including the Sturv. In this case, you would bring the Sturv, you'd rotate everything, and you would just force a 15v12 because they've got 3 tanks out of the fight, for example. Okay, if not, Troll just sits here, he'll farm, he comes back into K6, the Leopard should come mid, Sturv could come back to A7 actually, or come mid, that's kind of on him to decide, or if a caller calls a preference, do that. 260 should always just be over here, like right now, in this stage of the game, the 260 should already probably be halfway driven up. Okay, so again, that's an awareness thing on the 260's part. But, again, it could be like how you guys are taught and what you guys are told to do or not do, which, again, is detrimental. And it's not even opinion. It is. No good team is going to play like that. But anyway, so you would want more people up here to push this out, and then you have a couple guys to absorb. If they really push through, you kite, but if you take mid, you're going to win. But they're not actually, well, they are kind of pushing. They're pushing a little prematurely. No, so the 260 is making a mistake, right? He's sitting. So 260, you are throwing the game for your team right now because they really need you in the fight. Another thing is straight line pathing. You take, and look, even the caller, this guy Reacher is pinging to come in. This is the correct call. Take the straightest path. Leopard and Sturv, what are we doing? Sturv, get into the fight. Leopard, get into the fight. At this point, we don't care if anything's in K3. Troll is using his gun, but he has no fucking DPM. He can't do anything. Right? They've made the misplay of playing high here. You guys want to overmatch this. We don't really care about the EBR. Troll can get him out himself, right? And you guys are just going to absorb again because you're better players. It's just, this was kind of, it's like both teams didn't really call properly, and you just kind of went into each other, and because you guys, for the most part, just seemed to be slightly better players, you're winning. But there was nothing to indicate that you guys are well, we're not rotating, okay, so I'm not even going to talk about that. None of these games have I really seen rotations. So I suppose the first thing to work on is map awareness. I'm also thinking people in big. I'm not sure if people are gonna learn, and this is the other bad thing or scary thing, if you will. You're not gonna learn much from this video. Maybe you'll learn like spots and rotations, but based on watching your own gameplay, you can't learn much because not much is happening, right? There are no rotations really happening. There's no out calling happening. It's just kind of blundering into each other and just kind of outplaying them. So I would recommend if people really want to get better and if the callers want to improve calling, that they watch other things like other competitive videos. I've got some explaining in detail. You can watch Docky. I know Dark Ninja and Muscles. I think Dark Ninja makes a lot of like guides to play better and think better. You could check those out. You could ask me to review some higher level. You guys that actually learn a lot from Goons, because even though Goons has a lot to learn, they actually do they make a lot of wrong rotations or a lot of micro misplays like individually, but their macro for the most part they understand what's going on and they're aware and they try to make correct rotations. Their problem is sometimes like maybe they don't see something or it's late or you know what I mean, the rotations can be wrong, but they're actually doing it, whereas you guys aren't quite there yet. So you know what, yeah, you could learn a lot from either playing with Goons and instead of like trying to think, oh, I don't have to learn anything, like actually think, okay, these guys are better. They're not the highest tier players, but they're very good to know what to do and they can teach me a lot. So I would really do that. And it looks like you guys didn't lean on Troll much in that advance. Like, I didn't really see him pinging. That's a mistake. If Troll is in your advance, you should use him. Right? And here's your... Thank you, Troll, for for these replays, which I asked for. So, I'm going to end this video here. It's pretty fucking long. 50 minutes almost. But it's something I would definitely consider. I'm going to post it on my YouTube. You can see other YouTube videos where I like critique and stuff. And I'm just as harsh with Goons. Okay? This guy Bishop has been going out, I guess, saying that I have a vendetta against Bitcoin. Like I say, I hate them. No, what? No. Like I said, I don't know Bitcoin. The only thing I know about Bitcoin is that I guess they're the little sister clan of Goons. That a lot of you guys are veterans and play for fun, I suppose, but still want to improve, I've been told. And that, unfortunately, Bishop's linking cheats into your Discord. And again, whether it's intentioned well or not, it doesn't matter. It was done, and that's wrong. So that's why I started paying attention. And I messaged Bishop. I'm not sure. I'm sure he's been shit talking me and Goons to the guys in Bitcoin. But like I said, you guys can make your own decisions. In fact, I don't care if anyone from Bitcoin would like to see the messages Bishop sent me because they're quite rude, and would like to see the message I sent back. Just message me, and I'll be happy to share with you the screenshots because, I mean, right, I don't care. I'm not in the wrong. I'm not the one linking cheats. But so yeah, make your own decisions. And the one thing I last wanted to say, the reason this is like a big deal too is because we've recently in like high tier competitive play, we've been dealing with cheaters. Okay, there's this one South American team that cheated. They won thousands of dollars and they've been cheating for fucking years. Well, one of their caller has been. So it's still pretty ripe in the community, and no one in the community wants to deal with that, okay? It's just not cool. It's not fun. So that's why I'm going to call it out. Like I said, even if it's well-intentioned, ill-intentioned, I don't know the context. I don't know Bishop. He could have been trolling, right? Like, maybe he could have been for a laugh. I don't know. The problem is it was sent, and you just can't do that. There's nothing more to say. Oh, one more thing is Bishop seems to think that everybody, Wild H, Class, I saw the screenshots, like, talking about all these clans that Bitcoin faces are cheating. That is incorrect. The vast majority of people and clans as a whole do not cheat, okay? The best way that you're going to improve, and again, most of the people in Bitcoin are probably a little older, so they understand this, and it is just a video game, but like don't come if you don't care about the video game, that's fine, right? If it's just a game and you play to have fun, great. But by that same token, don't go around complaining and accusing people better than you of cheating, right? So Bishop doesn't seem to understand that these clans you're facing are almost... Actually, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say none of them are cheating. I could be wrong, right? But he seems to think at least like, even if you were to say 10% of the clans you face are cheating, or the people you face are cheating, I know it's patently false, okay? And I understand people like the conspiracies, and it's hard to come to terms with the fact that a lot of these players are actually just better than you and are able to blind fire and use their map and have awareness, okay? I know that sucks to come to terms with, but I promise, if you cannot make excuses, especially as the clan commander and caller, right? This is a lot for Bishop. If you can figure out a way not to give yourself excuses, you will improve so much faster. Okay? It will happen. And I'm more than happy to come into Bitcoin and help out and tell you guys what you're doing great, what you're doing wrong, how to improve. You probably won't want that, and that's fine. You don't have to talk to me. I'm just extending the offer as a show of goodwill. So Bishop sees this and watches a little bit of it and loses his mind again. Maybe that tells you guys in Bitcoins a little bit about your commander. I don't know. If he's calm, and he may not even watch it, but if he does and he's calm and he wants to work or talk, well, that's great. I'm glad. I'd love to talk to him. So far, he does not want to talk to me. I think he's blocked me. Oh my, this is a fun one. Bishop told me that I was spam pinging him more than his ex-wife, which was ironic. I didn't really want to do the counting, but I think I had like 1,094 or something messages from him. Like just an insane amount of blogging. In fact, like, oh, he wouldn't even talk to me. He deleted me. He deleted the entire conversation. That is hilarious. That is actually great. So I told him what his problem was, right? He blogged everything. Like, blogged. And he deleted it all. That's a little suspect. And I didn't take screenshots either. I don't think. Okay, so, you know what? I hope that... Oh, I have Nexus's messages. Oops. I hope the people from Bitcoin see this and make their own decisions, and maybe you decide you want to try calling, and if you want, reach out to me, and I'll be glad to help. And so will a lot of other people come from Goon. So I'm going to sign off here. Good luck to everybody. I hope everyone wants to keep improving, and like I said, don't take anything personally, especially what I say. I'm just trying to make people better. You can either listen or you don't, but don't get upset, right? Everyone should be adults here. And that's the other thing. Like, Bishop, come on, how old are you, man? I'm fucking 22, and you're acting like a kid. And it's a little embarrassing. You were very much, like, it's so clear that Bishop is trying to be like this professional dude, right? Like, I don't know. It's just a strange way to interact with people, and I can't lie, you kind of make a fool out of yourself when you say the things you do and lose your mind, and it's like you get so upset, or the dude was getting so upset he couldn't even put coherent sentences together. So, and he claimed he's a lawyer, which baffled me. Anyway, I'm not trying to slander too much. If he wants to talk, hopefully will. Bitcoin members want to talk to me or get in contact, you can come into the Goons public chat and just message Anakin's betrayal, right? In game, I'm Dua_Lipa_enjoyer from Goons. One more thing. This bishop did not understand this, even though I told him a million times. Anakin 1234 is not the person who did this. I'm Anakin. Anakin 1234 is my father. He has no clue what this is about. He received these nasty ass messages from Bishop, and he's like, what the fuck? Anakin 1234, who's also in Goons, because I put my dad's clan account in there so he could get boosters, is not a part of this, okay? It's me, Anakin, Dua underscore Lipa Enjoyer. I'm called Anakin because my previous name was Anakin's Betrayal, okay? So, Dua underscore Lipa Enjoyer. Let's see if Bishop can get there. I've only told him like 9 or 10 times. It's pretty insane. Maybe he's getting up there in age. I don't know, like Joe Biden type shit. Anyway, good luck, everybody. See you later.